There we go. All right, we're live. We're rocking and rolling. Let's jump into it. We had Jerome Powell talking today. He does talk tomorrow. He does these things. He talks. Despite what you guys might think, it is not a pre-recorded message, although he says a lot of the same things over and over again. As of the time of me going live right now, we have 14 and a half hours until he goes live. The cool thing about me telling you he's live in 14 and a half hours is it doesn't matter what time zone you're in. It's in 14 and a half hours. Which is actually 30 minutes after the bell. Should be. So that's our fireworks for tomorrow. And then Thursday, again, we have CPI, finishing it up Friday with PPI. We got plenty of excuses to move the market this week as far as the dollar goes. Let's jump into it. We're going to break down everything. So make sure you jump in with the questions. We're going to go over the dollar, U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. I guess we'll hop into Bitcoin. Then the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Russell. We are going to talk about Tesla and Palantir. Because what is going on with those? That's getting absolutely annoying. I actually sold the 270 strike calls on Tesla for this week, and they need to chill. So already sold some, by the way. Sold some more today, and it needs to relax because I don't want to actually let my shares go. I just wanted free money. Is that too much to ask for? I just like free money. So anyway, that's why I sold those contracts thinking we're going to be all right. So jumping into it, as far as the dollar goes, bear flag or reversal, depending on what echo chamber you're sitting in and who's trying to sell you something. I am hoping that's a bear flag, but overall, we do have to just note that we're on a pretty decent uptrend. Overall, kind of sideways. Forex is a sideways market on a very larger time frame, kind of sideways at the upper range too. So me personally, I'm hoping we do sell this thing off. But first and foremost, I need this trend to break. I need this weekly zone to break. I need a lot of things to play out for my short play over here on the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen to really pan out and get it going. So right now, I don't know if we're even spinning tires. We're just trying to start the engine. Still short that. I will remain short to a much higher time frame. Again, I will add on as soon as this wick breaks right here. Right now, my current stop is above this green wick, so I am short stop right above this wick with an add-on right here below here. So, in fact, that's technically right now two separate orders, so it might jump up, tag me out, but if it screens back down, I will be in it regardless when this breaks. All right, let's shout out to the TikTok. I don't know why I like calling it the TikTok. Just get over it. But I am on TikTok live right now, so I am curious because some of you guys have switched from YouTube to TikTok. So I'm kind of curious about the experience there. So if it's easier, vertical screen and all that, send it over. I'm keeping an eye on it, so I will see your questions there as well. All right, Bitcoin testing that bottom zone again. It's probably a little early to talk about being inside this day right here. Technically, we are, so we can move. Let's just do another one. Probably, typically when I draw, look how just concrete that is. But let's just keep an eye on this right now. Let's just see, because we've kind of established this range. And we've been in it for a few days. So let's just see where we're at. Alex says, no TikTok unless you can dance. Well, I can. You'll just never see it. You'll have to just believe me. Just kidding. No, the one thing I will never actually do is dance. I actually don't get dancing. You're just jumping around and you're wiggling, and that's it. I don't know. My brain, it just works differently. So, shout out to all the dancers, I guess. I don't know what to say to that. All right, S&P, nothing, kind of a nothing. Well, we had some intraday action, but overall, nothing. It looked like the rally was never going to end. We were just basing out. We finally got a little volatility. We hung out. We're flirting with breaking this zone. It looks like it's having a really tough time. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm short the NASDAQ right now. But I'd say breaking this. I've had a ton of people ask me questions about pullbacks and is it too high? Is it pulling back? A million things. We can kind of just take it as it comes. Right, pulling back to this zone is probably just a dip buy. Breaking this, we might actually see a decent dip buy. So we'll have to just take it one chunk at a time and see if we can't get down to this level. There will also be probably a hang up right inside there. But it's tough to, in an uptrend like this, until we start really testing some of these zones out and seeing just who's really paying attention at these levels as far as order flow and all that. It's just kind of tough to really. So that's why I'm going to keep these zones white. Yellow, yeah, yellow I have a lot more confidence in than I do just a white zone. Alejandro says, can you check SYM? I can. Give me 1 second. I will break down what I normally do on my watch list first. Dollar, Russell, NASDAQ, S&P. And then I'll jump into just like the chat and everything. So I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you or missing it. But do me a huge solid, guys. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the hearts. Whatever you're on. Make sure everyone knows you like it. Share it. That definitely helps me out when you share it. All right, S&P sideways. Plenty of room to go for the week. Now, NASDAQ. And Alex says, I'm bearish NASDAQ. Yes. So I bought some puts on the NASDAQ today. And I did a couple, actually. So I bought, I'm on my phone. It should have been at the money right here. 495s, 496, 497s. 497s, sold the 495s. So I bought 497 puts. When it sold off, instead of locking it in, I sold the 495 puts against it, turning it into a spread. And when it popped back up, I bought more 497 puts. So I'm hoping, so I got paid to be in a put spread, and I'm also in naked puts. So I'm really hoping that breaks down. And overall, I just think we are a bit extended, and I need a day like this. That's what I need. I'm coming out smelling like a rose if the rest of the week pays out like that. But right now, it's a very tough one. The reason why I went with puts is because we are just in an uptrend, right? You can say we're overbought. I think we're overbought. We can look at the indicators. RSI says we are, so someone else probably thinks that too. But until that red candle is followed by another one, we're just in a very strong uptrend. So instead of playing futures, I just went risk and capital. So I just went to puts for this Friday, and they 0 to hero, right? There's no stopping out. They're going to go to 0, or they're going to start making money, and I'll trail it. But that's it. You grabbed a 498 call, so you bought the dip. I front ran it a little bit, so mine are up. So if you bought the dip later, we might both just be up. But I'm hoping we pull this thing back quite a bit. It's going to be hard with tech on the with Tesla on the absolute run. Like, that needs to chill out. So depending on your time frame, I guess the argument to go short is there. It's just not a strong one. You're catching a knife. That's all it is a knife catch for anybody going short. Honestly, the trend is up, but I would be cautious at buying at these levels. You can't be too cautious. When I say be cautious, I usually just dial back the allocation. At that point, if I'm gonna buy, maybe 1,000 shares, instead I'll probably buy 500 or 600 shares of something like that. That's how I'm cautious. I'll go a smaller position, maybe a wider stop, or I'll keep it tight but just draw it back a bit. And that's kind of how I would do it. So when it's at all-time highs, I don't like money just sitting there. It's performing better than it ever has before. So why would you want to miss out on the markets? Again, the worst you can do is buy the absolute peak. Somebody bought right here. Okay, and then the next day it was just really red, and then depending on when you held, depending on your trade, he's back up. So, just because it's up or someone's saying be cautious, there's a million ways to play this market and still create income from it. A says, please, can you look at RR? Please, Don. High five emoji. I think that's a praying emoji, but I'm pretty sure someone told me that's a high five emoji. Anyway, I will. Let me get through the tickers real quick. As far as the Russell goes, anyone playing futures is buying at the top of this zone is just killing it. You're taking 900 trades, more than a probably less than a scalper, but more than I typically would. It's killed it. If you bought down here and trailed it up, you got back in on this wick, I would still think this is actually pretty bullish. Still hanging out. I guess Well, I guess what you could keep an eye out for is just that kind of bear flag setup right inside there. I would think more range bound than anything, if not looking for a leg up on that. The most recent one is 4 months old. It's actually not 4 months old. It says June of 23. Guys, my chart link I haven't changed it. So it should all be the same one. Yes, I will post a new link for everybody. So if you are a YouTube member, first of all, your name would be green, but you'll also get a link to my charts, and you just save the layout. So all my zones and drawings, you'll have. I have TikTok members or subscriptions. I don't know how to do it, but I'll find a way to make sure they get the chart link too. So I'll post it everywhere, everywhere it's available after the stream. All right, Tesla. Elon needs to sell. Someone needs to chill. Stop buying Tesla. Not you. I'm just saying whoever's doing this. Shorts are probably getting out. This is likely this has to be shorts getting out. But I am also short Tesla. I did buy puts. Fair warning, if you guys are on TikTok, my track record with buying puts on Tesla is phenomenally terrible. It's like a 97% lose rate as far as I'm concerned. But again, I sold the 270 calls, so I need Tesla to not be above 270. I would like it to pull back. And I'm getting a bunch of people asking me, is Tesla going to pull back? Should I sell my Tesla shares? How long is this rally going to last? There's a lot, and it's a very hard question to answer with Tesla because I don't know how long you're going to be in it. Are you trying to scalp it, play it intraday? Is that what you're going to sell and get back in a couple bucks cheaper? Do you think this is going to be the peak forever, and then sell and it comes back off? I'm lightening it up. I mean, I'm not selling. I sold my shares in the growth account. I'm not selling in my investment account. I do have puts, which is ultimately just a hedge. But if it were to come screaming back down to 215, I would load up. Honestly, if it came back down to the 230 mark, we're probably looking at a decent buy. I'm going to watch every one of these zones on the way down. I'm just hoping it gets to as low as possible. But I do think we are up there and due for a pullback. But if you're thinking like, is this going to be it for the next few years, the next few days? It's really hard to answer those questions without that answer. Like, I don't know your time frame. So to just say, should I sell my Tesla shares? I don't know. What was your plan in the first place? Yeah, you can't do that. I need to get out of my 260 covered calls. Hudat says over 300 by August 8th. Oh man. You know what? I don't know if I would disagree with that. I still think it pulls back. Mine's more immediate. I want it to pull back this week, maybe next, or maybe we just go sideways for a bit. That's fine. That's fine with me. And that's why I like at the money puts, because even going from this zone to this zone, I'll be up and making money. But for now, that is a little vertical. I would expect some profit taking. Right now, I bet a lot of shorts are getting out. As far as August 8th goes, where we have the announcement, time and time again, Tesla has gone through this buy the rumor, sell the news stuff. So I do expect it to pull back around that time. Not to say for sure, but almost certainly. It's just very rare that Tesla runs up into a news event and then continues to run. First time for everything, I guess. But for now, I do plan on it really pulling back then. And that's kind of where I want to have a bunch of capital aside just for that pullback. And then I'll probably really be buying it aggressively at that point. But everybody asking right now, is it overbought and should I sell my shares? Look at this rally, because I got the same questions. I don't know what that noise was. Something just made a noise. But I got the same questions back here at this time. Same rally, same vertical takeoff. And then it just continued for a little bit. And then we really pulled back to the 215 mark. We danced around, even broke lower. And then a lot lower. So to think things are just never going to pull back, kind of a silly notion. But when you ask yourself questions like that, it's just, what's your time frame? What's your overall plan? Because everything I do, investment-wise or trade-wise, has a plan on what I expect to see and what I will do if it does this or that. And I know my time frames that I'm on. Can we zoom in on the TikTok? Here we go. Oh, hang on. I'm just trying to check out. No new followers on TikTok. Come on, guys. This is the one. I figured I would do it until it slowed down. You guys are killing me. Just kidding. Do the thumbs, do the heart thing on TikTok. 125 next 50 years. Smash the like button. TikTok, I gotta dance. I'm not gonna dance. Let's see. All right, Palantir. So I am long Palantir. I have the 28 calls for next Friday and November. November monthlies. I think it's like November 18th. That's just a pullback. Kind of what I expect Tesla to do. Like as far as that goes, today's just a pullback. Nothing crazy. We jumped up, hit the zone, and expected move, pulled back. These are the lines we drew on Sunday, and then coincidentally, that's awkward. Anyway, hit that level and pulled back. For right now, I'm hoping we send it. I hope there's just a few sellers here, and we run out of them quick, and then we get going. So first of all, I need Palantir up. I need Tesla down. Because I'm in Palantir calls and Tesla, puts, what I would like to wake up to tomorrow is both of them at $200. We'll be good. Let's see. Foxbody. Eddie. SVT Foxbody. Okay. What year? Or I guess Foxbody. Anyway. I bought at 139, 140, 150, 160. It might sell them all tomorrow. Tesla shares. What you could do is you don't have to play the all-in, all-out game. Trail it. What if it just goes up tomorrow? So at least put your stop. Like if you're ready to sell this thing, put your stop right below that wick. So put a stop loss at 259.45. You're good to go. Trail it on the 4-hour candle, maybe the hourly. 261.35. And if it just continues up, you're on the gain train. If it turns around, it automatically sells. Just followed you. Is here. I wish I learned how to do. I gotta learn how to do TikTok. I gotta learn what roses mean when people do weird when they give you things. I don't know what that means, but your stop is 259.65. Then kick your feet up on your desk and relax until that gain train turns around. Why not just make more money? The only thing you'll have to monitor is what I would go ahead and do is I would also put in an alert right there in case it does something pre-market or in the extended hours, because the market orders won't fill then. But if it starts doing something weird and it's just not market hours, at least you know about it. Let's see. Eddie says, yes, I'm about to join monthly. My mentor was your mentor. Awesome. Who was my mentor? Do you know somebody that I know? Well, I'm just curious who says they're my mentor. Intel finally played out. Yeah, Intel finally went to another zone. Cody's done. Cody's my mentor. Yeah, Ricky is. I'm very curious who my mentor is. Oh, I was his mentor. Okay. Nice. That's awesome. Who was it? Who do I know? That's funny. I would say because guys, I wish I had a mentor. Don't get me wrong. I would love to find somebody to mentor me. I don't say that condescendingly. I want rich people. I want people with money. I want real estate investors. I want all of it. I want to learn from everybody. But getting into this, I didn't trust anybody because, and I've said this a lot before, if walking into a gymnasium of 100 people is always the example that I use, all of them would tell me they know what they're talking about. Only 5 of them would, and I would not be able to discern the difference. So I chucked all that out the window and just kind of did it my own way, which sounds cool, almost sounds bragging, but realistically, it's just spinning tires a lot. It takes a while to get traction doing it that way. All right, Intel finally sending it. I'm still in it. I did not tighten things up. In fact, I got so used to not looking at Intel because I got in back here just hanging out for literally ever. So this is a live trade that I'm in. So it did finally go zone to zone. Tomorrow I will put my stop. I'll have to put it at, man, I guess 33.45. 33.45, and hopefully we start knocking on that door and push it up. I didn't tag out. I didn't move my stop up. In every other trade, and every time I'm watching it, I would have. It was just, this is just a lack of management. So a mistake, really, because I would have normally probably tightened up and tagged out in the morning. I'm just glad I have one. Sucks for you. I do think it genuinely is cool to have a mentor. I don't know. There's people that like to brag about how they did it all themselves and all that, but no one's born with this information. And to go out and to find a mentor, to learn from somebody, is the much smarter route. Like, learn from someone else's experience, learn from their mistakes, soak it all up like a sponge. I don't get the I'll do it my own, like the bragging about it part. Like, that's just wasting a lot of time. It's not very productive. I've been watching you long enough to know how you trail stop. Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't. So I will tomorrow. I kind of don't want to put it that low, though. If that's a higher low, it'd be a blessing in disguise. If we gap up into this zone, we're going to be all right. I think it probably will send it into the next one. If that ends up being a lower high, that will probably come down and tag out. But if you are new, how do you know who to believe and trust? So I am going to do a YouTube video about that. Because there's some good YouTubers. More importantly, there's just a lot of bad information. I'm not going to call them outright scams. They just don't know what they're doing. I believe they want to help out, but they just have no idea what they're talking about. So I'm going to talk about some red flags and how to find the people that do. First and foremost, if your person never goes live, I gotta question that. Why aren't you going live? I could Google and set up a script right now and tell you guys I'm a neurosurgeon, and that video coming out, I could use ChatGPT. I could have all the experience in the world telling me what to say, and it would be a scripted version. That's it. It would be about as true as Hollywood. So I worry when there's some YouTubers that just don't go live. Like, are they worried you're going to trip them up, because they didn't have time to research it and pretend to know what they're talking about? There's a lot of things. Typically, another red flag, if they tell you guys follow these rules or this system, I've had a lot of people contradict what I do because they're like, well, it changes a lot. Like, the zones don't change, but it's how you get to these levels, because there is a lot of psychology in here. There's a lot of emotions in here. And to think you could put rules on that is absolutely silly. If there was ever a time of, if you see this, do that, I would just have a video about that. This YouTube channel would have one video, and that would be it. Because why would you need to know literally anything else? All right, if you see this, do that. Whole account it. Yeah, and go to school for whatever you want. And you don't have to worry about college loans, because you're going to make millions. Conservative collectors, Gilbert is your mentor. He has videos on the CH channel. Oh, the chat channel. Chef G. Okay. Okay, Alejandro asked how long I've been trading. 11 years. Don Fron, tough love mentorship makes us money. Yeah, if I yelled at people on YouTube like I do in the mentorship, I probably wouldn't have a channel at all. You can thank me for Intel rallying. I waited weeks to sell a call. I finally do, and it moves. I appreciate that, Cody. Thoughts and prayers to your call. That is deep in the money now. All right, let's do a couple more. What do we have for this? What did AMD do anything? AMD sent it too. Still well within the means. Just jumped up, hit that zone, and rejected. So for everyone on TikTok, this is not an indicator. These are zones that I draw manually. You've watched me draw a few. People call them magic yellow boxes for this very reason. It runs up, hits them, and it bounces. Hits it, and it bounces. If only you had seen those yellow boxes before, you'd be good. The only thing is Tesla needs to start bouncing. It already bounced here one time. It needs to do it again. And I don't like what I'm seeing right now. That better not be a continuation. Ford is still scared of 13. Ford really does like this range. It would not surprise me to see it get back below, but it does need to get back below this yellow zone. Please don't forget RR. I'm not. TikTok, there was another one on TikTok. Was it SVN? If you're still here, throw it up in the chat. Let's see. Rich Tech Robotics. Sounds cool, but it looks like 4 people are trading this. There's absolutely no volume in it whatsoever. And it's $1.29. Banging. So I got a pretty sweet hack of how to make money. And it's when the chart looks like this, don't touch it. I don't care if you even work for the company. Sounds cool. I'd love to work in robotics. But what about a chart like this makes you think you're going to make money? You know, this is what your money is going to do. And it looks like it's going to go down a lot and then hang out. And hopefully it can just keep up the limitations just to even stay on the market. Oh, Rolls-Royce. Okay. Hang on. This looks a little bit better. All right. Well, now, continuing on with that conversation I just had, that little hack. I do say this a lot. If it goes from the lower left to the upper right, sounds like a good one. You know, so it sounds like we're on to something. If you want your money to do that, well, then buy that. As far as Rolls-Royce goes, I'm really glad we're talking about this, and I'm not about to hear some great excuse as to why I should be in that robotics stock. I hate when someone does that, and then I'm like, nah, don't touch it. And they're like, that's where I work. Well, your job sucks on the market. I just want to zone this out for a little bit. We got to talk about that area. Hang on. This is just a speed bump zone right here. And we got that right there. All right. Let me zone this out real quick. Give me 2 hot seconds. So right now, I would be hoping that that's a dip buy. Here's the concerning part. So you have these just higher lows doing great. Now, if you follow me long enough, you'll hear me say, if it hits that zone, I'll buy it one more time. But if it makes a lower high and comes back into that zone, then I'm not. So we come back down, we hit this zone, and it bounces, right? But then we don't get anywhere. We come back down, sure. Now, even right here, that's a higher low. We're just checking that zone from the top. There's still some buyers. We're looking good. We're already back in. Looks like we're running out of buyers. If I'm in this and I bought at this zone, mentally I'm prepared to stop out because it does look like it's about to break. I bet we get a little bit of a hiccup right here, a little bit of a bounce. But if I was really looking to get into this, I'd rather buy it down here at the 420 level. Don, welcome to Don Fron Chartlink. Oh, that's what I named it. Welcome. Eddie's actually our first member of this YouTube channel. Boom. Broke that ice. So when I'm done here, you'll see it. Go to the community tab, and you'll see the chart link. Again, it'll say June of 2023. I used to rotate them every month. So just go check there, copy that, and save it as your layout. Let's get that up there. SYM for Alejandro. You got it. Alejandro, did you bring me your roses today? Is that what people say on TikTok? Did you bring me roses? Why did they pick roses? Okay, other side. There's 2 sides to the coin, right? Heads, looks like it's not looking too good. I don't think I would short this yet. If I was actually looking to short this, I would want this zone to break. Another thing you hear me say a lot is it's a zone until not. So sometimes I'm thinking, hey, we don't have any buyers left. We're probably about to get that continuation. Mentally, I'm prepared for it. I wouldn't just outright go short because we might just be hanging out and going sideways, playing the back and forth game. All right, SYM. Let's see. Scarlett just sent a gift. Oh, she said she brought me a rose. I'm just a man who likes flowers. Long walks on the beach, you know? I do everything. Why did I type that in? SYM. Okay, so like right here, jumping up, hitting that. What I would want to see, so if I'm going to go long this right now, first of all, if you make it a habit of going long as it's coming into this yellow zone from the bottom, probably won't be here next year. I'm not bragging, but I'm pretty accurate with these, and a lot of times they do reject at some point. So if we played the back and forth game inside here, then I would go long. If it pulls back, stays in this zone, and kind of keeps this trend going, then I would be long. Right now, I'd be cautious. I would wait. And so if I'm going to buy this, my buy would be somewhere 37 around there with a stop loss at 35.35. So that puts you at, what's $1.35 stop loss, $1.35 per share. Rolls-Royce, the car brand, is owned by BMW. I know quite a bit about cars. I don't think I knew that one. But I will say I called out the Stinger. When the Stinger came out from Kia, like that's got BMW written all over it. And then to find out it was the M Series designer that went to Kia, makes me want to buy one so bad. TikTok is showing as many GoPros as iPads. No wonder everything crashes. There's only 3 GoPros on the camera. I don't know why I collect them. I have all of them. Well, I have from the 6 up. So if anybody has any, like, good condition like new, because all my stuff looks like new. It might have some dust on it sometimes, but everything I have doesn't have a scratch on it. I kind of want to just collect all of them from 1 all the way up. I did have to go out and buy a GoPro 12 today. I didn't know what's even about. I just saw it was there, and I don't know why I have these, but I do have them. Like, they're nice. Same with drones. I have a lot of DJI drones. But yeah, TikTok's like that vertical screen, so I don't know. How did it rotate? I must have bumped it. Want to buy me one for fun next time? You've never owned one? There's not much you can do with them. I stand by what I say. It's just not a company I would ever own because you have an iPhone. But if you're on TikTok, you can see the GoPro on the left has an interchangeable lens. I think it's called the 360 lens. So I can rotate it all the way around and the picture stays upright. Absolutely amazing. It does the same thing as this GoPro. The 360 one has like the fisheye cameras. I guess I gotta show TikTok. They're all right here on my desk. I have all of them. But it's actually really cool. I never needed it, but it is really. One day, it's like having 2x4s in your garage or just like scrap wood. You're like, yeah, one day I'm going to need that. And man, when that day comes, I am going to shine. I'm going to shine. And I'm going to be like, I got you. Don got trapped by the GoPro promo. Buy a camera, get a free monster. Is the monster on screen? There is a monster right next to it. Sounds like a boy toy. It is. You use them for skiing once every 4 years. Sorry for anybody that really likes animals. I get it. I do put them on my rifle, which is kind of cool. The footage is cool. But even there was one year I didn't get a good shot. It wasn't a big deer, and I eat everything that I shoot. It makes me feel better. But anyway, didn't even shoot it. Still got the footage of like aiming down at it and looking at it and watching it for a bit. So they are cool for like very niche scenarios. I got a red banner somewhere. Okay, guys, give me a couple more. We got 6 minutes left. Let's do this. Any tickers you want? Let's just see if I promise this should keep going down. Now I've slipped. I've had a few monsters, but I'm done. I'm done with that. Microsoft. Ooh, now that I wish I would have. I might have taken a play on Microsoft today. Right now, possibly a dip buy. Hopefully it continues further south. What I would be looking at right now is actually, let me grab the weekly expected moves real quick. Microsoft, 2 standard deviations, 449.32. Puts you right here at the bottom of that zone. I would even consider selling some maybe 450, 448 put spreads on this. Let it get juiced up a little bit. If it sells off tomorrow, that's going to be one I think I would do. Because I think tech's a little overextended and does come down, I wouldn't just flat out buy this, but the gamblers love to just buy these puts when the move happens, brings them all in. So I like to sell to them. So I would sell some out of the money puts to them. Cody says he's long. Well, hopefully at this point, I don't know why you shouldn't, why you wouldn't be, because of it. Everything just keeps going up. I'm just hoping it doesn't. Sorry. POAI. Lord Bartos liked the live. Ooh, he's liking it a lot. Keep it going, but then also let me know what ticker you want me to break down for you. Predictive Oncology. Why does this keep going down? There's very few tickers involving AI and cancer that I like and watch. This does happen to be one of them. Now, if you buy this right now and you say, well, how much lower can it go? I will give you the answer with 100% certainty. About $1.02 per share. That's how much lower it go. If you're going to buy this, your stop loss is that default you get with a market maker. It's 0. This will be one I think that just randomly, I don't want to say cures cancer, but figures it out a lot. Maybe you can work with it, identify it, get ahead of it. There's a lot of that breaking down. I think with help with AI, there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen, and it's really flirting with bio stocks. That's where you go to gamble for sure. There's going to be an FDA approval. They're going to not make it, and then it's going to crash. It's going to be 30 cents. It'll go from $120 to 30 cents. I don't know. It's the case that I have for even Kathy Wood's ARC-G, the genomic stuff. The medical field, I think, is about to really rip, and it's going to be one of those things that everyone's trying to do it, but I don't know if anyone's going to do it on purpose. They're going to find the cures. They're just going to figure things out, but I think they stumble on it more. I don't think they're going to, like, there's no way they can say right now, if we continue on this trajectory, we're going to find the cure to cancer on this date. Like, everyone's just trying. They're seeing it sooner. There come up better ways to treat it. This company being one of them. So I kind of want to just cast that net out there. It's something I've been thinking about more and more as far as my investment portfolio goes, because I don't want to keep buying Microsoft, Nvidia, Tesla, Amazon. I'm going to buy some more Meta, but I have a lot of those, and I do want to get some of the medical stuff. But these are going to be high flyers. I'm going to put some money in there, and then they go to 0, or they cure cancer and goes to $1 billion. That's kind of my thoughts on that. Right now, this is trending down. Your money will trend down. That's just where it's going to go. To think it's going to change anywhere else, it might jump up and hit a zone and come back down. But that's might be your best bet as a trade you can get out. ODFL. He'll look at specifics if you shout him out. Is someone asking? Are you live on YouTube? Yeah, I am. Don Fron Trading is what the YouTube channel is. If you're on TikTok, there is 2: Don Fron Show and Don Fron Trading. Don Fron shows a lot of AI investing, AI news. Trading will be everything else. Old Dominion Freight Line. This looks like it's rejecting right here. I wouldn't be bullish till it gets above. So yeah, so started from right here, bounced, bounce, bounce, and then we drop, base, drop, jump up, reject. So there's your area of attention. We have another one right inside here. So I can't be bullish till it gets above. In fact, that would have been a decent short entry. I wouldn't be worried about catching that knife until it got back down to right there, actually, as a matter of fact. If you were going to take a long position now, I would just be focused on this current trend. No reason why I would still want to be in this as it comes all the way down to this zone. I would give it every benefit of the doubt. I'd put my stop at 175.85. Once that breaks, I'll just comfortably buy down here, I think. Don Fron in the house. All right. Was there something specific about that one? Hang on, Nate's trades. I see that paragraph. I'm going to quit putting my ticker. You never break it down anymore. Well, that's awkward. Just rewind and pretend we didn't go over that one. I'll get to it. I try to keep it. It's because I go live every night, with my group. So YouTube, it's hard to just go in here and break down a million tickers. I end up repeating myself a lot. Mara. I would expect Mara to come back down. If Bitcoin's not turning around, I bet that's about to reject. And I'm curious if Mara comes down to that zone right down here. If I were to catch a knife on Mara, my stop would be 18.85 right here. The cool thing about that is it would take 3 brain cells to take this trade. Go long, stop right there, and either makes money or it doesn't. Oh, did I get another? I got another gift? Did I get another rose? I missed it. Let's see. VFC Dollar Tree. Sold the 18 today. The 18 put. Oh, I could do that all day long. I do like Mara, and if you want to just get paid to sell, I would sell the 18s just right there at that zone. No. Did I say that right? VFR? VFC. See? Are you sure you guys want me breaking down tickers? VFC Corporation. Why have I messed up? That's twice tonight I've messed up the letters. Cool thing is I've been on YouTube for a while, so you can go back and watch all my videos in case I have a stroke and can't teach anybody anymore. So do that. They're all there. Been on YouTube a while. I don't know. I have to think that's probably about to get, like, there's your little hiccup, hit the zone, it bounces back up, and that's a zone from back here. I didn't just draw that just because now it's just kind of a coincidence. Sold off into that, you're hanging. I bet that's about to break and come back down. And you probably get a knife catch right here for a quick little bounce. Might even play the ping pong game back and forth for a little bit. But I would be cautious of this one. Dollar Tree, TSM. Ooh, they're lying to you. If I'm buying dollar, I would take a long position right now. It is a knife catch. My stop would be 96.85. So my trade would look something like this. So I would buy it right here, type 1. 96.85 would be my stop. Come on. I know the second I move, it's going to jump like $1. 82, close enough. So in theory, I would like it to get that far, but it's not. It's probably going to really struggle right here. So realistically, the trade would look like that. Now, if I bought Dollar Tree right here, I would add on, comfortably right there in the zone, right there. Same stop, so 2 positions. Again, not adding on for the sake of it, because that's how you don't make money. But that's what my trade would look like. I would buy a little here and a little bit more, full stop. So if I only want to risk $500, this first trade is going to risk $250. This next trade is going to risk $250. It will have quite a bit more shares because the per share risk is going to be a lot smaller. Your average will be somewhere right here around the 102 mark, and then hopefully we bounce and full send. I didn't know the drawings stack like that. Interesting. That's how I would set that up. Hopefully it bounces right here like it did before, but hopefully it gets down here. Yeah, if it breaks that, no way am I going to just hold on to this and think, don't worry, that'll happen again. Like that's right here, not very bright. I turned them up very bright because I was breaking down NVIDIA on Don Fron Show. All right. Let's see. TSM, Dell, Crisper. Okay. TSM, and then I got to get to my mentorship group. TSM, Taiwan Semiconductors. You have to be long these for now. I don't think it's a bubble. I know a lot of people are talking about the chips are in a bubble, but I just think they don't know anything about AI. However, I'm not just buy at all costs, close your eyes, click the buy button, and hope for the best. This would just be a dip buy hitting that zone. I'd put my stop at 181.85, and that's it. If we do start to pull back, if markets start to pull back and Powell comes out tomorrow with his red tie on, whatever tie is bearish or hawkish, whatever cool terms the YouTubers want to use, no way I'd want to just hang out in all these and watch my money evaporate. So I do think at some point we will get a pullback. I need to read. There was Nate's Trades had something about Tesla, RSI. There's a lot of things I think that are extended and overbought, but the RSI is just relative strength. So all that's showing you is it's just headed up full bore, and everyone agrees. That's typically the time where you're going to find some profit taking the opposing force. There's a lot of tickers that are kind of in that realm. But until that trend does turn, I went over this with Tesla, not too long ago, or NVIDIA. You can wait for a pullback. It might go from, you might think 250s over, 260s overbought on Tesla, but it might push to 300 and pull back to 280. You waited for the pullback, and then now you're buying at 280. You could get much more. So overbought doesn't mean too much. Yeah, Ryan says, just buy the pullbacks and set stops. Yeah, there should be no fear. The worst you do is you buy the peak. Okay, and that's what stops are for. And that just would be a dip buy for me. Dell, hopefully this is about to break up because I bought Dell, posted it in the Patreon, and then I sold Dell. And it was a great trade. Well, it made money. And then somebody, I'm not going to say he has a blue name or not, he didn't do that last part, so he was still in it. It's just now getting back up. I'm not going to name names or anything, but it's not Matt on YouTube. I'll say that. I can always get more over by Cody says whatever. I will say I do like Dell. So we hit this area, rejected. Hit this area again, and look at the red candle. So plenty of sellers, 3 sellers. That tells me the sell party is about done. We're about wrapping it up. These people just didn't get the memo. There's always that one awkward guy that just can't pick up on the social cues that it's time to leave. And that's probably who showed up right here. So bull flag or reversal. It's a zone until not, so you do have to watch out for that. But right now, I would consider going long this. I wouldn't short it. Ooh, 1,300 likes on TikTok. YouTube, you're sitting at 31. Guys, I'm about to be a full-blown TikToker if we keep this like action up. YouTube, you got some work to do. Some real work. CRSP. Crisper. This is another company I just think people should have. Crisper Therapeutics. Investment wise, I can't give you guys any financial advice. I think there should be a spot for this in your investment portfolio. Now, hang on, let me zoom out for the TikTok. Very horizontal, very violent. There's plenty of traders that love this ticker just for the in and out game. But there's also something to be said about just holding this. And when it gets to these lower levels, it's almost just I don't want to say a no-brainer. The second I call something a no-brainer, it's going to fire sale. That thing's going to flash crash like the meteor that hit the dinosaurs. Like it's going to race to zero. It's going to look like an Android phone. You know, the second you buy it, it just starts losing value. You know, I just like to make my Android people mad. I got to say, right now, price action-wise, does look like you're about to get it cheaper. So, now when it comes to an investment, there's ways to get into that. And so I got to say, I got to shout out to Mike. We are working on a website. We're working on training an AI bot, but it's my brain that trains it, not just anything else. So I'm coming up with a million just decision trees to train it with. Like, if you see this, do that. What if it's doing this? It's going to get probably really in depth. But that'll come out. So when you have tickers like Crisper that, hey, you just said, or you agree, should be in your investment portfolio, might be trending down, what's the most effective way to get in there? Sell puts, dollar cost average, sandwich it, trail it with alerts, and just let the red do their thing. I think it'll be amazing. As long as I can TikTok from my desktop, we're good. I think you can. Is this also mentorship? No, we're about to go to mentorship right now. TikTok was just killing it with the likes. So I had to just continue. It's hard when people donate or like do the super chats. It's hard to just say, thanks, I'm out. So I always get like suckered into just doing it long. I noticed there is not a lot of purple zones anymore on the graph. On which one? Crisper? Purple's just weekly. This right here is a purple zone. This used to be a purple zone. What we just drew, we probably had a purple zone from back here, as a matter of fact. So the colors do mean something. Purple is just weekly. Yellow, daily / 4 hour. Blue's hourly. All right. Alex says like a Corvette. Typical Android guy. Okay, so I got to answer Nate's trades. Nate, if you're still here, let me know. Tesla's 4-hour RSI non-extended is the second most overbought. Let's just bring this up because I don't really do the RSI. And guys, if you trade the RSI and you hear me call, I say it stands for the really stupid indicator, please don't get offended. I'm never going to not say that, though. Okay, so the 4-hour RSI non-extended. It's I don't know what else you would call that. Is the second most overbought it's ever been. First was only a hair more. Oh, okay, hang on. You're comparing. Even I need more screen real estate on this. So it's been this. Okay, second. Okay, I see what you're talking about. A hair more. Okay. Was it all-time highs with no resistance? Wonder if this zone will reject price. It better. It absolutely better. It better for a couple reasons. One, I'm in puts. Two, I want to buy more, and I just don't like buying at peaks. I will get aggressive with Tesla. I think the only thing that shows me is, the only thing this RSI showed me was the green light. The green light to buy more when it's no longer green. I'm trying to find confluence at that level. I hear you, and I do think this is really just fueled by shorts. Shorts getting out. I would hate to be short this. I couldn't imagine actually being short this ticker and telling my clients that. I get it because I buy it off a pipeline. I get the rules some managers have to follow, but yeah, I would be out quicker than anything. I would rather short GameStop, like in a rally, than just be short. Oh no, TikTok says it will end in 5 minutes. TikTok says it's noticed a lot of non-movement or something. Anyway, a lot of buying on the wicks. Yeah, they're probably just trying to save grace. Get out any way you can. Looks like it wants to keep going. I know, but I will say, Tesla. I mean, you know this. Tesla can have some pretty red days, so it can surprise to the downside just as much. The cool thing about this is that people aren't. It hasn't had that, like the green right here. Why I'm so bullish Tesla now. One, not only did we talk about why you should go all in Tesla back here at 160, 170, but now all these green candles, Tesla can push up like this, and a lot of times it comes right back down. It's just a matter of gravity and how hard you threw it up the first time, but it's just like it's been like throwing a bowling ball in the air. But this time we're not coming back down. It's not so sensitive, or the confidence is there, so when it does come back down, the greener this thing gets, the more I'm going to buy when it does come down, if that makes sense. Where's my stop at on Tesla? At 140? No. I don't really have, in my investment account, I don't have one. I would just buy more. Trading account, I would give it this bottom zone. Maybe that was a typo, 240. Oh, you're in at 140. Okay. And that's just maybe a long swing trade for you, or you just bought it down here at this zone and just been killing it since. I would have it right here. I'd put it below that zone, 239.85. If it's in your investment portfolio, I don't know why there would be a stop unless it's time to exit. Investment portfolio, you don't want to jack around. Typically, you want to just keep it, because then it becomes a taxable event, which isn't bad because I do taxable events every week because I still sell calls. But I would rather just accumulate in my investment account, sell calls against it later. Because if it's an investment, that tells me when I put something in my investment account, it's why I really don't get the investment YouTubers. There's just not much to say. I bought it. Here's why. I'll see you in 5 years. Unless they come out on the earnings and say we're closing up shop or something drastically changed, well, I'm going to be in through the rainy days, the sunny days, the big rainbows, and the hurricanes. Like, I'm going to be in it through it all until something actually changes. Not because someone had a sad day that day at that company. So that's kind of where I'm at. So when you tell me investment, it's just how can I make money on it while I own it, and that's selling calls, maybe selling puts because I want to get a little bit more. But that's where I would be at on that one. It's not taxable if you lose. Well, I have to worry about it because I don't do that very often. It's tough to sell covered calls on those high flyers, NVIDIA, Tesla, etc., I'm afraid. It can be. But the cool thing about selling calls, though, is you can wait for the move to shoot up first. And with Tesla, you probably don't want to be outside the expected move. You want to be almost 2 standard deviations. And they'll give you a warning sign. A lot of times they can shoot up. Don't get me wrong. It's not perfect. It's not the end all be all. And what you said is very true. Sometimes you just don't want to. And if you were watching in the previous videos before, I told you guys I'm not selling calls for this very reason. I literally just now sold calls against my Tesla shares because I just didn't want this breakout to happen. And then me still being something ridiculous. Yeah, wait for it to pump up, let the gamblers juice up some real out of the money stuff, and then sell that one. Let's see. I lost Microsoft at 388 selling calls. It's now at 488. I would have rolled that till the end of time, or bought it and closed it. All right. Like the 190. Well, I bought 190 calls. I didn't sell those. We were bullish those. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I do have to get to my my mentorship group. So, YouTube, you will see me in a little bit. Have a good one.